People say a heart breaks from sadness. Mine was breaking because the people who were supposed to save it decided a wedding was more important. That I learned that truth under a chandelier so bright it felt like it was trying to blind me from what was coming. The night it all unraveled began at the Hawthorne Country Club, where Boston's medical royalty gathered to congratulate themselves. A string quartet polished Mozart's pieces into the air like silverware. Laughter floated above the champagne. Everyone sparkled, pearls, cufflinks, reputations polished since residency, and then there was me, standing alone near the silent auction table, pretending to read the description of a watercolor I couldn't afford, watching my family work the room with the ease of people born for spotlights. The Monteros @my family. Boston's golden dynasty of cardiac medicine, loved, respected, and utterly blind to the fact that their daughter was dying. Dad, Dr. Lorenzo Montero, was in his natural habitat, shaking hands with the chief administrator of Hawthorne General. His voice had that perfect blend of humble brilliance, the kind that made donors empty their wallets. Mom was nearby, her diamond cuff catching the chandelier light as she gestured dramatically while praising Dad's groundbreaking contributions. Watching them felt like observing a sculpture gallery, still, perfect, cold, and my sister, Sienna, practically glowed. Recently engaged. A ring so huge it looked like it had its own gravitational pull. That I lifted a glass to my lips, tasting the acidic sting of wine and resentment. A soft voice interrupted. Congratulations are in order, someone announced. All eyes turned to Sienna. Her fiancé, Ethan, wrapped an arm around her. They giggled about the wedding next month. Will the whole family be attending? Someone asked. Dad puffed his chest. Of course. Family comes before anything. Even work. His words landed like a punch, because he wasn't just talking about work. That he was talking about my surgery, the mitral valve replacement I needed immediately, the one scheduled for the same day as Sienna's wedding, the one he had decided to postpone. A routine procedure. He'd called it a little valve fix. A minor inconvenience. Minor, the word echoed in my skull. Minor is for getting milk at the grocery store. Minor is losing your parking ticket. Minor is not the surgery keeping your daughter alive. 20 feet away, Dr. Mara Layton, the surgeon who was supposed to save my life, stiffened when she overheard him. She had spent 2 weeks chasing him down for medical history and operative clearance. He fed her excuses about scheduling conflicts. I was the scheduling conflict. Later, Mom floated over to me, irritation masked with a practiced smile. Leah, sweetheart, you look pale. You aren't getting worked up about that little procedure again, are you? Little procedure. My chest tightened. My lungs felt like they were filled with cement. I'm fine, I lied. Good, she nodded. Your father knows best. A few weeks won't change anything. A few weeks might kill me, but I didn't say it, because in my family, truth was treated like drama, and fear was dismissed as immaturity. The wedding planning escalated with religious intensity over the next few days. Table linens, flower samples, lighting tests, photography schedules. Every conversation orbited around Sienna's perfect day, while my surgery, my survival, was treated like a nuisance interfering with their social calendar. Dad even suggested inviting the entire cardiac department to the rehearsal dinner. I nearly choked. Invite the physicians who had been coerced into delaying my emergency surgery. The audacity was almost impressive, but everything detonated the morning Sienna revealed her wedding timeline. Everyone needs to be at the venue by 8 a.m. Hair at 9. Ceremony at 4. Reception until midnight. Full attendance is mandatory. Mandatory, for everyone, including me, whose heart was moments away from failing. My medical emergency had become a threat to her bridal aesthetic. That's when Dr. Layton intervened, and that's how I ended up in the gallery of the hospital's ethics board meeting. The one that would change the rest of my life. The boardroom felt like a courtroom wrapped in mahogany. Portraits of legendary physicians stared down like silent jurors. The chief medical officer, Dr. Elaine Porter, rose. Her voice was carved from steel. Today's case concerns unethical intervention by a senior attending cardiologist. Dr. Lorenzo Montero pressured surgical staff to delay his daughter's emergency valve replacement for personal, non-medical reasons. Every head in the room turned. My heart pounded, not from fear, but from validation. Documentation flashed across the screen, operative notes, risk assessments, emails, transcribed conversations, recorded statements from staff who'd been pressured. Then Dr. Layton stood. The patient, Liana Montero, is at high risk of cardiac failure. No competent cardiologist would call this minor. Gasps flickered across the room. Dr. Porter delivered the final blow. This represents a profound violation of medical ethics. He endangered his own daughter. A unanimous vote is recommended for immediate suspension. And without hesitation, they voted. Dad's medical license was pulled that same day. The fallout was volcanic. Mom called within hours, her voice shaking with fury. Liana, how could you do this? Your father's career is destroyed. I stared at the floor, exhausted. I didn't destroy anything. He chose a wedding over my life. Sienna's call was softer, shattered. I had no idea, she whispered. If I'd known. You didn't want to know, I said, and we both understood the truth inside that sentence. My surgery was performed 2 days later, urgently, correctly, safely, by a team who valued my life more than family optics. The recovery was slow but powerful. Every heartbeat felt like a rebellion. A reminder that my survival didn't belong to them anymore. 6 months later, I was promoted at work, leading cardiac outcome research that would influence surgical protocols across the country, the very field my father once dominated. Dad sends messages sometimes, long paragraphs filled with apologies that never address the real wound. But I've learned something. Sometimes the heart you need to replace isn't the one in your chest. Sometimes it's the one beating in the people around you. And when your family treats your survival as optional, you don't owe them a seat at your table or access to your recovery. If my story teaches anything, it's this: the people who claim they love you can still break you, but the people who save you, they might be the ones you meet on the edge of your worst night. Tell me, what would you have done if your family chose celebration over your life?